Alrighty, YouTube. So it's your boy Zxous, and you guys know that I have to do my, honest thoughts on, the brand new character, the one character I don't have yet, but I am going to get 100%, aka Miss wait. I know. Just hold on. Don't mind this. Technical difficulties. Asuka. A lot of people are not saying her name is Willie. I mean, I know her name is probably not pronounced Willie, but like, I don't care, bro. I don't care. But yeah, basically, we're gonna be giving our honest thoughts on this character, and I have tried her. You might be wondering, how can you give your honest thoughts on this character if you don't have her? I do not have her, but I have used her a lot. Obviously in shooting range, and then obviously the showcases I did on other people's accounts. Right, overload gear, no overload gear, so you guys can kind of get the gist of like where I'm going with this character, right? And I am going to be giving my thoughts on her without actually using her with Ray, which I know a lot of people might not be happy with, but it's like I have to talk about the character and what she does to the game for herself, because at the end of the day, Asuka is a character who does not need Ray. Yes, having Ray on the team makes Asuka better, right? But she does not need Ray, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it's not by force for you to run her with Ray to get results. And a lot of people actually, especially seeing the Kraken video, or just a lot of people knowing how to build a team for Kraken in like general, are not going to be using Asuka with Ray, because it's impossible for you to have the burst 1, the burst 2, and then 3 burst 3 characters and trying to fit Mana, Ray, Asuka, and Scarlet Black Shadow on one team, right? You're probably gonna have Asuka, you're probably gonna have Scarlet Black Shadow, and then the last one is gonna be Mana. The only reason why you would not be running Mana is because you do not have her, right? And that's the truth. And if you're not running Mana, then you're probably going to run Naga for Crown, and if you're not doing that, then you might run Ray. So my whole point is, like, I know some people might say wait until Ray comes to finally give your like final thoughts on Asuka, but I don't necessarily need to do that. I mean, I can mention how good Asuka gets when I do my final thoughts on Ray, but yeah. But anyways, when it comes to Asuka, I think she's great. I think this is very, very good for the game. I mean, I think it's good for the game, but at the same time I don't, because it's like, I don't like when collab characters are meta. If you want me to be honest, I don't, because collab characters being meta means that unless you were playing during that time, you're not getting these characters. Like, let me give you guys a good example. The other Asuka is a staple for what's the boss? Indivilia, I think, right? This Asuka is a staple for Indivilia. She's a staple for that team, right? But the only people who could have gotten her were the people who played during her time when she first came out, or currently where she has her rerun banner out, right? Other than that, you're not going to be able to get her. And we don't know how long it's going to take for us to get the next Broken Fire DPS, right? But right now, this character is a mainstay on that team for the Indivilia anomaly interception. And my thing about Asuka Willie, or just this Asuka, is that she also is going to be a staple in Kraken to an extent, right? I don't know if people are really going to switch off their team of what it was before with Mana and Scarlet, and then Noir, Red Hood, Rappy. I know a lot of people say they hate when I say Red Hood, Rappy, but I don't like saying Rappy, Red Hood. It just doesn't come off the tongue right. And then Crown, right? Like, I don't know if she's gonna be replacing any of those characters and being like the go-to team, but she is very powerful, and that's my whole point. Like, she's the second strongest win DPS in the game. She's the second strongest win DPS in all of Nikke, right? So now having the broken, like the most powerful win DPS being Scarlet Black Shadow, and then having the second strongest DPS being Asuka, this one right here for Kraken, it's like, okay, this might be the team. Not to mention that new cube, the destruction cube that gives increased damage to parts. If you put that cube on both of these two characters, you're gonna destroy the Kraken's parts so easily that you're not even gonna sweat. It just comes down to how broken like the damage is, right? Give the damage to part increase to the characters who do the most damage, and you're beating Kraken. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people might put this Asuka on the team and stuff like that. Is there anything I would have changed about this character? I would. I think it's the only thing. It's this. That machine gun heating up. I really think it's lame. The machine heating up speed decreasing by 100%. I really think it's lame. And the reason why I hate it so much is because they made that an effect But the only way to fix that is to summon for a whole nother character, which is Rei, right? At that point, don't even add that line. Don't add an effect to a character and then say the only way this effect is basically going to be fixed is if you summon for another character, right? Because this character decreases machine gun heating up speed by 100% for herself, but then they gave Rei an effect that increases it by 100% for all machine gun users. That's kind of like the compensation, right? So essentially they're saying summon for Rei, and we're doing this for all machine gun characters. But it's kind of a plus for all machine gun characters because a lot of the machine gun characters are not decreasing their heating up speed by 100%, right? So a lot of the machine gun characters, basically every single machine gun character but this Asuka is getting a massive buff in terms of how fast they're going to be able to start shooting again with their machine gun, right? That's kind of like the compensation there. Other than that, I don't feel like this is like really all that. Like they should have never had done that personally, right? I think the constantly recovering HP is cool and all, right? I don't think they needed to give her that, but hey, whatever floats their boats. The normal attack multiplier decreasing by 40%. You know, that's crazy. Like the only thing about this Asuka that I will say I kind of dislike is the fact that she's not really all that powerful unless you're using her burst skill, right? Well, she is. Like this first line is quite broken, right? You give her overload gear, you build her up. That first line is very broken. Every 50 normal attacks she's dealing like 471% final attack as additional damage, not as normal attack damage, as additional damage, right? So that's just insane damage she's just doing for free, guaranteed. But like other than that, she's not really doing anything crazy, in my opinion. So it's like, what's going on? But yeah, I mean the Asukas are kind of the same thing. I feel like I personally feel like I do actually feel like they made both of the Asukas a bit wonky, but like not wonky, if that makes sense. Like I feel like both of the Asukas need Rei, or not need Rei, but like it's so hard to explain because they did this the second time in a row. Asuka, both of them don't need nobody. They don't need the Reis. But by having the Reis, the Asukas are just better. So it's like, and both of them are crazy DPSs, right? The other Asuka and this Asuka, both of them are crazy DPSs, yes. But it's like there's a flaw in their kit. And then they kind of make the Rei to compensate for that flaw. But regardless, they're still powerful, right? In the other Asuka's case, I think it's like the fact that she needs a shield or something like that. And then that's what Rei's supposed to do for her. And then for this Asuka, it's the machine gun heating up speed. And then the Rei's supposed to fix that for her. Not to mention the other Rei's just buffing up this character 10 million times because she's the only one that can give out this AT field. So it's like, you know. But other than that, I think she's good. I do like the character. I think she's powerful. I think she's going to be very helpful for the game and Kraken and all that stuff. I just don't like that they ended up making the second strongest win DPS a collab character, right? Because like I said, I'm going to have the character regardless. I'm like 4 multis away from my pity, right? But a lot of the people who come after this point, a lot of the people who need these characters for future content are not going to be able to get them because they're collab characters. So, and we're not going to have a 3.0 for this collab. I doubt it. If we do, then I'm going to see the Nikke community rage because, you know, like a collab is a collab, sure, but I would have been more hyped for a new collab like Black Lagoon than a rerun with new characters of the same name. You know, don't get me wrong, I'm still hyped, but still. But yeah, it's your boy Zxous. Let me know what you think. Do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree with me? I'm out. Peace.